Good afternoon, everyone. We are Athena, Daniel, Jenny, and Kelly, representing VCC's Hospitality Management Diploma program. With experience in both hotels and food and beverage, we represent previous and current employment with Sandbar, Pan Pacific, Fairmont Pacific Rim, the Old Spaghetti Factory, Hyatt Vancouver, and Walt Disney World. Please enjoy your presentation.
So today, we have decided upon 3 recommended actions to conduct a successful recruitment campaign, which are to locate international profiles, to establish online presence, and to talk or to focus more on career opportunities. But before we begin on touching on these plans, we need to recognize who are the key markets and our selected target market and their characteristics that will evidently affect the workplace. So today we have focused our key markets on Australians, Indians, and Asians. Australians tend to travel to BC mostly for adventure and leisure. They tend to really focus more on sports activities, especially snowboarding or skiing up in Whistler and in our local 3 mountains. When they do enjoy their stay here, they tend to stay if they found an established position of employment, and we are hoping that the coast hotels will be very appealing to them. Indians come to find better homes within Canada than back in India, and here they find more job opportunities. And eventually, a lot of them like to actually move to Canada, just because it's such a lovely city. Sorry. And also, within the Asians, they also come frequently to BC to visit family members, and many of them also enjoy the sights and the beautiful sceneries here in Vancouver. And they decide to also immigrate their families as well. So now focusing on the demographics, which we'll start with the baby boomers. These are essentially very highly educated individuals that bring a very broad wealth of experience and professionalism to the industry. They maintain an active and balanced lifestyle, which correlates with the notions of them being very family-oriented. These qualities instill a steady way of life and provide reliable employees. With Generation Y, they're a little bit different by having a sense of self-entitlement, which has made them very overconfident and very overeager in the start of new establishments. And since the time of the internet came into existence, their behavior and habits have been very different from previous generations. Some examples are new methods in encountering time management, and as well as easy access to unlimited information. And that's in every position in life, whether it be at work, on the bus, or at school, or even at home. By understanding and adapting to these behaviors, coast hotels can key into these new habits and take advantage of this new generation. Now with immigrants, the industry may become more diverse with having these immigrants more implemented within the coast hotel. They bring a sense of multiculturalism and a greater background and a more understanding and sensitivity to these individuals.
Okay. So creating profile is internationally and globally is essential to tourism. What is needed from us is to promote globally through tourism and hospitality schools. Coast has really done a great job to bring us all here together for this case study, so we know that Coast does have a global presence already as it is. However, we want to create a better and longer-term relationship with all these institutions here today. Now, reaching out is the first step. We want the HR department to initially take the first step to reach out to these institutions, to grab them, to promote Coast sponsorships, and as well as to get them as guest speakers within these schools. This will make Coast brand the hotel of choice in minds of all college students as well. This will always have Coast in their mind when we have these guest speakers to come every time and every year as well. Like I said before, this involves the HR department, but it would be great to have the departments from front office to housekeeping involved in these guest speakers as well. These representatives will have great value and knowledge within Coast that will bring forward to these presentations as well, and that will entice the students with these knowledge and skills that they can provide. Moving forward from globally, we want to talk about internationally. We know that Coast has about 18 properties across Canada. That's why they need to tap into the international programs. International programs such as the PNP, which stands for the Provincial Nominee Program. This actually will bring in skilled workers from other countries such as Australia, such as Asia, and such as India as well. To be qualified to even have these, to be in PNP, you do need to be required to have either a skill or education as well. That will narrow down what we want from these demographics and geographics as well. In return, this will fill in the shrinking skilled labor forces, and also as well as shrinking labor forces. Also, we also want to think outside the box, not just with the PNP program, but also community culture websites. I'm not sure if any of you are aware of this, but there is a Chinese community website called SuccessBC CA. What this website does is bring together the Chinese community who are looking for job placements within our community at this time. What the website does as well is it will help these immigrants to learn a second language, to forward their education, to fulfill the requirements of these job placements within the community. This way, if Coast goes through these brands of website, they don't actually have to send representatives to China or to Asia, which is very costly, and it will be less of a cost-effective way. They are very enticed, like we said before, by our beautiful landscape, which we would definitely probably want to stay here with us.
Another one of our recommendations following the tactics are online presence. Coast Hotels and Resorts is currently doing a great job with their online presence by utilizing Facebook and Twitter. How they can improve is by posting and tweeting more frequently about events and news within their community. And in regards to that, by creating a Facebook and Twitter page for each individual property. Doing so gives it its own personality, in another sense, refreshingly local, as a slogan for Coast Hotels. Referring back to the local and international profiles, which had been previously spoken by Jenny, how Coast could market themselves to the students. Another way is by utilizing the school access sites. Another tactic would be to spruce up the career portal access site on the Coast Hotel website. Maybe to provide more information, making it a simple solution and opportunity for Coast Hotels and Resorts. With these tactics, it can help Coast spread the message of who they are and what they represent for the future stars of the industry. And people responsible for doing so would be the Human Resources Department, the Director of E-commerce and Technology. Yep.
Our third and final recommendation is a call for more information regarding career opportunities within Coast Hotels. Currently, Coast Hotels does a really good job in outlining positions available across their networks of properties, but it would be beneficial and a good opportunity if they outline leadership development programs or career workshops, student workshops available for students to do mentorships or apprenticeships with their hotels. Also, just as it's important for future applicants, their future ambassadors, it's also important to retain current ambassadors within the programs. And by having those career development programs offered on their website or through their hotels by HR representatives, they would be able to retain many ambassadors over the future as well. Just looking at our budget, in our first recommendation in local and international profiles, to do advertising through college and programs, maybe doing partnering up with local colleges and universities, having a partnership with that, and doing advertising We estimated about $40,000, just like a paid salary for one individual to focus on that. And our second recommendation, online presence, to look after Facebook, Twitter, and school websites to post, that's per ad. We estimated about roughly just under $3,000 for that.
Now, measuring success. How do we really measure success? And that's very important with us here on that post as well. So anonymous surveys, which is your job satisfaction surveys that you get, what we like to suggest is having it actually at 3 months probation after we actually hire these talents from all these channels that we have recommended. Knowing how happy they are within the hotel means that we are definitely having a success with all of our channels. Historic data such as monitoring specific channels from previously. If we're hitting Facebook, how many likes and how many people have joined that Facebook from last year or the previous year or within the 5 years as well. And of course, turnover rate is very essential. We know that from if it was just turnover rate was 15% and it went down to 12%, we know we've done well as well. So what does this really all mean to us? I mean, we've recommended all these things. What does our recommendation really do? I mean, it does hit all of our target markets that we want to recruit. It taps into social media, local and international profiles, and as we are career options. But it really actually brings everyone together through these channels and bringing everyone together to create a diverse and connected team, which is our close-knit recruitment program. So through all this, we can recruit and stay together and connected.